Hi, thanks for joining me on Winners with Monty. I made the trip to the East Carson River, and it looks fishable if I can reach it. I'm at that Hangman's Bridge, where I guess it's named that because somebody got hanged here at some point. The water's stained, it's moving, but it looks fishable. Now, I've never caught anything near this bridge because I'm sure everybody fishes here. But I'm going to go down there and see what the visibility's like. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to hike up the river because I was kind of looking at that hillside when I was driving in. And it looked kind of dangerous to get down to. I fished the West Walker River on Sunday for Wilderness with a Monty Patreon. And when I wasn't able to catch anything in the lower area where there was not much snow, I had to go up by the campground and above that, and I needed snowshoes. And there wasn't a little bit of snow. There was a ton of snow. I'll go as far as say more snow than I've ever fished a river in before. And I was casting with my snowshoes on at one point. I'm going to go down there and see what my jig looks like in the water and give it a shot. Fishing the West Walker was really difficult, but at the end of the day, I had 3 rainbows and a brown in the net. If I can pull something off like that here today, it'll be worth whatever I gotta deal with. If I get skunked and I gotta plow through snow and I get snow down my pants when I slide like I did on Sunday at the West Walker River and I don't catch anything, snow down the pants is not worth it if you get skunked. So let's try to avoid that. I'm gonna go down and make a few casts. And the way this is gonna go is, if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm going to drive out of here. I'm not gonna sit here and go through what I went through on Sunday fishing the West Walker, where I was just battling the elements, man. And I prevailed in the end, but up until the last 45 minutes, I thought I was just gonna get skunked because I wasn't catching anything. This water swirls around here pretty good. I might have to leave because there's ice floating in the river. Because ice floating in the river is just horrible when you're fishing jigs. The water's definitely clear enough for fish. I've never even gotten a hit down here. I've never seen a fish down here. I've never seen a sign of life. We've seen as many signs of life on Mars as I've seen fishing here in this spot. I'm hiking up the trail. I want to see what it looks like up there. My thinking on this, I was looking at the snow above the West Walker River up towards the 108, and it hasn't even started melting yet. I mean, it snowed yesterday, and it's April 4th today, and it snowed last night because there was snow in my car when I came out today, and it's probably gonna be about a high of 35 in the mountains. So once the snow really starts melting, fishing's gonna be tough, man. This is all gonna come down to whether or not the sun is melted, the snow and ice where I need to go down. Because right now, things aren't looking too good. It's looking really sketchy. I'm now at the point where I'm gonna take this moment by moment. So it looks like that side is pretty clear and passable. And I think this is where I need to go down. But there could be something right beyond there where I take one look at it and I'm just like, no way. So far, so good. It's like I'm walking down the edge of a glacier. It's like it's nice and soft and dirt right here. Because if I can get down to the river, it looks like I can walk around down there pretty good. But it's going to be able to get down, and there's a steep section coming up, and that's when I'm going to have to make the determination. All right, the river's right there, so this looks like it's a go, man. I don't know if I'm going to sink right there. The nice thing about this snow is it's frozen because it's so freaking cold. Like I said, there's ice floating, but it's mostly snow. And I don't know how long I'm gonna do this. My jig tail is frozen solid. I gotta thaw that out. But I spent enough time getting down here and driving here where I'm making some casts. I don't care what the conditions are like. I'm gonna fish a couple of holes and make a determination. There's enough snow and ice floating in the water that's making this a difficult thing to deal with. So now I'm stuck in silt like quicksand, and luckily I just have waders on and not boots, because this is gross. And I'm having trouble getting out without pulling my legs out of these hip waders. There we go. Ugh. Ugh. And I think I'm wrapping this up. Getting out of that mud is more than I thought it was gonna be. I'm crawling up this landslide right now. Holy crap. Oh. Oh. Do not step right there by this tree or you will be stuck. And I gotta get out of here before I sink again. Oh my God. I'm going back in. That was no fun. I gotta get back to these rocks. Oh, my boots were buried. So it's only like 10:45. I'm gonna get out of here. And I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna drive back towards Reno. And then I'm gonna head west, and I'm gonna try to fish in the Truckee for an hour or two. There's too much floating ice. There's water's stained. The fish don't seem to be in a really big hurry to bite anything. And I'm not gonna spend the day here battling this stuff. I gotta clean these off. I'm a mess. Sinking in that quicksand or whatever that was sucked. It took me like 5 minutes to climb out of that. And it was not easy because I would get my foot out and then I'd sink and then I'd have to yank the other one out. So we're pulling the ripcord. If I was teaching a class on the efficient use of resources like gas, this would not be a lesson on what to do in that class, because we drove all the way down here and now we're driving all the way back and then we're driving in another direction. So you want to get crazy? Let's get crazy. All right. I pulled off about 1.5 miles up from the state line. There ain't no time for any fancy introductions here because it's already about 1:15 and I had to pull over and sleep for like 10 minutes at my Markletville because I was falling asleep. I got up at 4:30 this morning so I could lift weights before I hit the road. I was just tired. I'm here and this is what it's gonna be. I'm prepared to stay till 4 or until I catch a fish. Whatever happens first. I got enough energy for that. All right, I'm gonna hit the raft takeout above this, and then I'm gonna fish the stretch below it. Hopefully I can get something there. And the one thing the water is here is it's clear. And I didn't want to battle that stained ice floating in it, snow, water. I already did that at the West Walker River on Sunday, and it was a lot of hard work to finally get some fishing, and there was 20-mile-an-hour winds to boot. So it was tough, man. And as soon as I saw what was going on there, I was like, yeah, I don't think so. Whoever is responsible for deciding to put that traffic circle in front of the high school entrance where the 88 runs into the 395 before you drive up towards Carson Pass, I curse that whole group of people. I hate traffic circles to begin with, but to put that thing outside the high school, I was driving out at lunchtime and it was like Mad Max trying to get through that thing. It's freaking Fury Road. So I'm gonna go ahead and start at this raft takeout simply because today I have waders. And usually I'm trying to fish here and I got no waders and I can't reach the far wall where I need to get to if I'm gonna get something. I know a gazillion people fish here. I saw a guy with like 15 people here teaching some kind of fly fishing class. The guy fishing down there, so I'm gonna go back the other way. That guy's got his little slice of paradise going, so I don't want to disrupt him. Enough of this fancy water. Let's go down and climb and fish some boulders, man. That's my game. I really love fishing this bouldery section when there's a lot more water flowing. There needs to be more water flowing for this to be ideal for what I like to do, but this is good enough. So I'm gonna see if I can't get down here and hit something quick. So the water's down and I'm gonna make a couple quick casts here from up here so that I don't spook whatever's right on this bank, because these boulders are where the deep water is. That's where the fish will probably be. I am moving this jig really fast so that they don't have time to look at it, because this is really low. I wasn't expecting this. What happened to the porridge in the middle that's just right? East Carson was all stained and out of control. Get down here, it's barely flowing. Come on. It's gonna be like 70 degrees next Sunday, and this is gonna get out of control. So whatever it is today, get a good look at it, because it ain't gonna be like this for a while. Oh, I got this guy over by that far bank. He was right in that deep water. I gotta get him off that boulder though. That boulder is not my friend. Whew. That's a nice brown though. If I can get him. I can see that jig. He swallowed the jig though, that's good. Oh, got him. There he is in the net. Take a look at that guy. That is a big boy. I'm gonna rest for a second. I'm gonna get my hands wet and I'm gonna show him to you. I'm gonna let him power back up. Right here. Look at that brown. That is a fat brown right there. Woo! Look at that boy. Let's get him back in the water. There he goes, look at him. I gotta change my jig. That fish chewed it up. So the water's really clear and it's really low, and that was the rock right there. He was on the other side of that and I was freaking. So what I don't want to do here is give the fish too much time to follow it. And this is a situation where there's a lot of river, but that fish is going to be sitting right off that far bank in that deep section. So I need to cast my jig so that it falls within a foot of the far bank, and then I got to jig it quick, get it through that zone, and then I'm just reeling it in. I'm not even wasting my time. So basically, this is the same thing I do when the water's rushing really fast. I cast to the far bank to where I see that I can get it in to a spot where that'll hold fish, and I scoop my jig through that spot really quick and just try to get them to hit it as fast as I can. Because if that big fish has too long to look at this jig, there's no way it's gonna bite it. There's just no way he's gonna see it from a distance, follow it, and hit it. I mean, maybe, but I doubt it. I said I was gonna fish until I got a fish or 4 o'clock. Well, I've only been fishing for like a half an hour. So that was a lot of talk. Let's do some more fishing and see if we can't get one more. There's nothing like greed. I'm not even messing around with that left-handed garbage. I gotta be precise here. I'm trying to throw it like right on the sides of these boulders that are out there. And if I'm fishing left-handed, I can't do it, especially with this wind that keeps coming up. Right-handed, deadly. I'm deadly right-handed. Man, that is low. Definitely coming back here when this is gonna be raging. I just had what I wanted to happen. I threw it up against those rocks and a brown followed it out and hit it. And my rod was up above my head. I couldn't get a clean hook set on him because it's not flowing much. So I had to get it out. Maybe he'll come again, I don't know. He came out charging after that thing though. And I got him to come right there. He hit it right there. And then I just, I didn't get him. I didn't get him. I could have had two. I could have had two, and now I got to keep fishing. Well, that's going to do it. It's 3 o'clock. I put in a couple hours. The water's low, and it's going to warm up next week. And this is going to be a totally different place. And I'm surprised I got that big brown, man, with this jig in that low, clear water, but I explained the strategy, man. Drop it close to them and move it quick and make them do a reflexive strike. They will not hit this thing. I had a shot at that second fish. I was throwing it over in the fast water, trying to get a fish to fall it out. I got everything I wanted. But when he hit it, my rod was straight up and down. And I fished this little 5-foot ultralight rod. So when the water's low like this, I have to keep it straight up and down to keep my jig out of the rocks. And when the fish came up and hit it, I had nothing left on the hook set. I was stuck. I was in no man's land. But that worked out just how I was fishing that pattern. It was like you got your receiver, runs the perfect route, you throw the perfect pass, and he just drops it for no reason. And that was me. I missed that fish and I'm bitter. But that brown was nice. And I'm sorry I didn't stay and try to fight it out on the East Carson River, man. 2 days before, I fished the West Walker for Patreon, and it was a battle with snow, 20-mile-an-hour winds. And then yesterday, I tried to fish the Truckee up in a couple parks after it stopped snowing, but it never stopped snowing. It kept on snowing off and on. It was windy. It was miserable. I didn't have the fight in me today. It was easier for me to drive far and do all that than it was for me to battle up that raging river with ice floating in it and stained water. This water is crystal clear. That brown was a dandy. I hope you enjoyed the adventures of today. I had a fun time. I'm tired. It's time to go home and get this video up. I got 4 long days of work ahead of me, and then I got to figure out what I'm fishing next week. So thank you for joining me on Wilderness with Amani. Until next time.